The stars looked different from the observation deck of the UES horizon. Ambassador Elaine Mercer pressed her hand against the cool glass, watching as the massive diplomatic station grew larger in the distance. After 2 weeks of travel through deep space, they had finally reached Nexus Station, the heart of the Galactic Council. Beautiful, isn't it? Captain William Grant stepped beside her, his uniform crisp despite the long journey. Elaine nodded. Hard to believe we're the first humans to see it up close. The Horizon was Earth's pride, a sleek vessel built specifically for this historic mission. Inside were 142 of humanity's finest, diplomats, scientists, cultural experts, and a small security team. Their mission was simple yet monumental: represent Earth and establish humanity's place among the stars. Captain Grant checked his watch. The formal reception begins in 3 hours. The crew is ready, but I've ordered extra systems checks. Something feels off. Elaine turned to face him. You've been saying that since we entered Council space. Our scans show nothing unusual, and the Council messages have been polite. Just a feeling. Grant's eyes narrowed as he studied the station. 27 alien species, all more advanced than us, suddenly deciding Earth is worthy of membership, after ignoring our signals for decades. Elaine smiled. Perhaps they finally recognized our potential. In the ship's communication center, Dr. Olivia Summers worked with Daniel Wright to prepare final translations of their greeting speech. As Earth's leading xenolinguist, Olivia had spent years studying the limited alien language samples available. The Zexian greeting needs more work, she said, adjusting parameters on her tablet. Their language relies heavily on tonal shifts that human vocal cords can't produce. Daniel nodded, his eyes red from lack of sleep. The cultural attachments are even trickier. We don't want to accidentally insult someone by using the wrong hand gesture. The ship's intercom crackled. Senior staff to the bridge for final approach briefing, Captain Grant's voice announced. On the bridge, Grant stood before a holographic display of Nexus Station, a massive structure resembling a wheel with 12 spokes extending from a central hub. We dock here, he pointed to an outer ring. The reception will take place in the grand chamber at the center. Elaine studied the station's schematics. How many security personnel will accompany us? 6, Grant replied. Council regulations limit armed escorts. The rest will remain aboard. Dr. Catherine Porter, the mission's science officer, looked up from her console. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy readings from the central hub. Nothing dangerous, but definitely active scanning technology. Expected, Grant nodded. They're likely assessing our technology levels. Porter frowned. This goes beyond standard assessment. They're using quantum-level penetration scans. Grant and Elaine exchanged glances. Earth's true technological capabilities remained their closest secret, a precaution President Russell had insisted upon, despite objections from some world leaders. Maintain our technological camouflage, Grant ordered quietly. As far as they know, we're exactly as primitive as we appear. The Horizon glided smoothly toward its designated docking port. On screen, alien vessels of various designs moved through space with elegant precision. Some were massive, city-sized craft that made the Horizon look like a toy in comparison. In her quarters, Elaine prepared for the reception. She wore a simple, blue uniform with Earth's new interstellar insignia, an olive branch circling a stylized globe. Her gray-streaked hair was pulled back neatly, projecting the dignified image Earth wanted to present. A soft knock at her door revealed Daniel. Ambassador, the Zexian representative has sent a personal welcome message. He handed her a tablet displaying the translated text. The message was formal, but surprisingly warm, expressing High Chancellor Vrax's personal excitement at meeting. Humans face to face. Seems genuine, Elaine remarked, returning the tablet. Daniel nodded. The linguistic patterns suggest sincerity, though with aliens it's hard to be certain. The ship shuddered slightly as docking clamps engaged. Captain Grant's voice came over the intercom. Docking complete. Atmosphere seals verified. Welcome to Nexus Station. The reception party gathered near the main airlock. Elaine, Grant, Olivia, Daniel, Dr. Porter, and 6 security officers in dress uniforms. Behind them, secondary teams prepared to maintain the ship during their absence. Remember, Elaine addressed them quietly, we represent not just our governments, but our entire species. First impressions matter. The airlock cycled open with a soft hiss, revealing a brightly lit corridor. 3 alien figures waited beyond. Tall, slender beings with iridescent skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Their faces featured 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern above a small mouth-like opening. Ambassador Mercer, the central figure, spoke in perfect English. I am High Chancellor Vrax of the Zexian Collective. On behalf of the Galactic Council, I welcome humanity to the interstellar community. Elaine stepped forward with practiced calm, though her heart raced. High Chancellor, Earth is honored by your welcome. We bring greetings from all nations of our world and hope for a peaceful, productive relationship. Vrax's skin rippled with blue patterns that Olivia had explained indicated pleasure. Please follow me to the Grand Chamber. The full council awaits. As they walked through the station, humans and aliens alike stared at each other with barely concealed curiosity. The corridors were filled with beings of all descriptions, some vaguely humanoid, others completely alien in form. The air smelled of strange spices and unfamiliar chemicals. Your station is remarkable, Elaine commented, noting the advanced materials and seamless design. Nexus has stood for 3,000 years, Vrax replied, though it has been rebuilt and expanded many times. Captain Grant walked slightly behind, his eyes constantly scanning their surroundings. He noticed security points, weapon emplacements disguised as architectural features, and the subtle positioning of what appeared to be Council security forces. His communicator vibrated silently. He glanced down to see a message from Joseph Reeves, their communication officer still aboard the Horizon, detecting unusual power fluctuations throughout the station. Systems on high alert. Grant tapped a brief acknowledgement and whispered to Porter walking beside him, Stay sharp. Something's happening. The Grand Chamber opened before them, a vast circular room with tiered seating surrounding a central platform. Representatives from 27 civilizations watched as the humans entered. Some leaned forward with interest, others maintained the stillness of practiced diplomats. Esteemed members of the Council, Vrax announced, I present Ambassador Elaine Mercer and the delegation from Earth. Elaine stepped onto the platform, feeling the weight of countless alien eyes upon her. She began her carefully prepared speech. Honored representatives, Earth comes in peace and friendship. On the horizon, Joseph Reeves stared at his console in growing alarm. The energy readings were spiking dramatically, centered directly beneath the Grand Chamber. He opened a secure channel to Grant's personal communicator. Captain, emergency. The station is... His words were cut short as the Horizon shuddered violently. Warning lights flashed across every console. Through the viewport, he saw strange energy fields forming around their ship, originating from concealed emitters on the station. With shaking hands, Joseph activated the emergency protocols and sent one final message. It's a trap. They know about the Prometheus protocol. Trust no one. In the Grand Chamber, Elaine was midway through her speech when Captain Grant's communicator buzzed urgently. He glanced down, face paling at Joseph's warning. Ambassador, he called out, reaching for Elaine's arm. A deafening rumble shook the station. On the massive view screen overlooking the chamber, the horizon suddenly erupted in a blinding flash of light. Fragments of Earth's first diplomatic vessel scattered across space like dying stars. 142 humans, gone in an instant. Elaine stared in horror, her words dying in her throat. Beside her, Grant's hand moved to his concealed weapon as Vrax turned toward them, 4 eyes blinking in what appeared to be simulated surprise. How unfortunate, the High Chancellor said, skin now rippling with colors Olivia had never documented.
It appears your primitive vessel experienced a catastrophic systems failure.
Rain fell over Geneva as world leaders gathered for the memorial service. 3 months had passed since the destruction of the UES Horizon, but Earth's grief remained raw and heavy. Black umbrellas dotted the grounds outside the United Nations, headquarters where a new monument stood, a simple stone obelisk with the names of all 142 lives lost. President Amanda Russell stood at the podium, her face solemn beneath the gray sky. Today we honor those who ventured into the stars carrying humanity's hopes. Their loss is not just a tragedy, it is a wound in our collective soul. In the front row sat families of the fallen crew. Elaine Mercer's husband clutched their daughter's hand. Captain Grant's elderly father stared straight ahead, his military posture unchanged despite the tears rolling down his weathered cheeks. "We promise you this," President Russell continued, her voice growing firmer. "We will uncover the truth. We will remember, and we will ensure their sacrifice was not in vain." What she did not say, what only 12 people on Earth knew, was that the investigation had already begun. Deep beneath the Pentagon, Commander Ryan Blackwood studied the final transmission from the horizon. The message from Joseph Reeves played again on his screen. "It's a trap. They know about the Prometheus protocol. Trust no one." Ryan rubbed his tired eyes. For 12 weeks, he had analyzed every piece of data from the disaster. Beside him, Dr. Catherine Porter, the only senior scientist who had stayed behind from the mission due to a last-minute illness, worked through energy readings collected by Earth's deep space monitoring stations. "Look at this," Catherine pointed to her screen. "These energy spikes from Nexus Station occurred exactly 3.7 seconds before the horizon exploded. That's not coincidence." Ryan leaned closer. "Could it be some kind of scanning technology we misinterpreted?" "No." Catherine's voice was firm. "I've analyzed it against all known energy signatures. This matches weapons fire, specifically a directed energy weapon far beyond anything Earth possesses." Ryan's jaw tightened. "So it wasn't an accident. Not even close." Catherine pulled up another screen showing debris analysis. "The explosion pattern isn't consistent with an internal failure. The ship was hit from the outside." Their conversation was interrupted as the door opened. General Frank Martinez entered, followed by the Secretary of Defense. "We have visitors," General Martinez announced grimly. "A condolence delegation from the Galactic Council just entered Earth orbit. They're requesting permission to land." Ryan exchanged glances with Catherine. "Let me guess, they want to express their deepest sympathies for our tragic accident?" "Exactly," the Secretary nodded. "Led by Ambassador Zorax of the Veil Hegemony, supposedly here to offer technological assistance to prevent such unfortunate incidents in the future." Catherine's laugh was bitter. "How thoughtful of them to help us with our primitive technology after they destroyed our ship. We don't know for certain it was deliberate," the Secretary cautioned. Ryan pointed to the screen. "With respect, sir, we do. The question is why, and what do we do about it?" General Martinez stepped forward. "For now, we play along. The President has approved their landing. We'll welcome them, listen to their lies, and learn what we can about their true intentions." "And the Prometheus protocol?" Catherine asked quietly. The room fell silent. The Prometheus protocol was Earth's best-kept secret, a contingency plan created 50 years earlier, when scientists first detected alien communications. While publicly pursuing peaceful contact, world governments had quietly prepared for the possibility that first contact might not be friendly. "Not yet," General Martinez said finally. "We need more information first. Commander Blackwood, you'll join the welcome team for the alien delegation. Dr. Porter, prepare a demonstration of our current technology level. Make sure it's suitably primitive." 2 days later, 5 alien vessels landed at a specially prepared site outside New York. Ambassador Zorax emerged from the lead ship, a tall, thin being with gray skin covered in intricate patterns that seemed to shift and move in the sunlight. Unlike the Zexians, the Veil Hegemony had only 2 eyes, large and entirely black with no visible pupils. "Greetings, people of Earth." Zorax's voice was oddly musical, translated through a device at his throat. "We come bearing the sincere condolences of the Galactic Council for your tragic loss." President Russell stepped forward, her face a perfect mask of diplomatic gratitude. Earth thanks the Council for its concern. Ryan stood nearby, studying the aliens and their ships. His military training helped him identify defensive systems, weapon ports cleverly disguised as design elements, and scanning technology actively mapping the area. The delegation was taken on a carefully planned tour. At MIT, Dr. Porter showed them Earth's most advanced quantum research, technology that was actually 20 years out of date. Fascinating, Zorax commented, his tone suggesting anything but. Your people show promise, though you clearly have much to learn. Perhaps in another century you might be ready for more direct guidance. Catherine's smile remained fixed despite her rising anger. We're eager students, Ambassador. That evening, a formal dinner was held at the United Nations. Zorax addressed the gathered world leaders with what Ryan recognized as barely concealed condescension. The Council has reviewed the Horizon incident thoroughly, the alien announced. As we suspected, the cause was a catastrophic failure in your propulsion systems, a design flaw common to young species attempting faster-than-light travel without proper understanding. Several military officers shifted uncomfortably, but President Russell raised a hand slightly, signaling restraint. To prevent future tragedies, Zorax continued, the Council recommends Earth remain under quarantine for at least one standard century. During this time, we will provide limited technological assistance, guiding your development along safer paths. Later, in a private meeting with President Russell and her Security Council, Zorax was more direct. Let us be clear, the alien said, his patterns now pulsing with deep red. Your species is not ready for the greater galaxy. Your emotional responses, your unpredictability, your alarming rate of technological development, these make other Council races uncomfortable. I see, President Russell replied coolly. And the destruction of our envoy? Was that also due to discomfort? Zorax's patterns froze momentarily before resuming their movement. As I explained, it was an unfortunate accident, nothing more. After the delegation departed the next day, Commander Blackwood met with President Russell in the Oval Office. They're lying, Ryan stated flatly. Our analysis confirms it. The Horizon was deliberately destroyed using advanced energy weapons. President, Russell nodded slowly. I know, the question is why. What threat could we possibly pose to civilizations thousands of years ahead of us? Maybe not as far ahead as they want us to believe, Catherine Porter suggested, joining them with fresh data. Their ships use technology that's advanced, yes, but not incomprehensibly so, and they seemed genuinely surprised by some of our achievements, even the ones we showed them. They're afraid of us, General Martinez concluded. Not of what we are now, but of what we might become. President Russell walked to the window, looking out at the Washington Monument gleaming in the distance. So what do we do now? Ryan and Catherine exchanged glances before Ryan spoke. Madam President, I believe it's time to activate the Prometheus Protocol. 6 months after the destruction of the Horizon, a small fishing boat drifted across the Pacific Ocean. To any watching satellites, it appeared to be nothing special, just another vessel seeking tuna in the vast waters. But as night fell and no other ships were nearby, the boat stopped. Its seemingly ordinary crew typed a complex code into what looked like a weather radar system. The ocean before them began to bubble and churn. Slowly, a massive platform rose from the depths, a structure larger than 4 aircraft carriers placed side by side. As seawater cascaded off its surface, bright lights activated along its edges, revealing the words Prometheus Station Alpha in bold letters. Similar scenes played out that same night in the frozen wastes of Antarctica, the dense jungles of the Amazon, and the barren deserts of Australia. Hidden facilities, built in secret over decades, awakened at the same moment. In Washington, President Russell stood in a secure room 100 feet beneath the White House. On screens around her, the hidden facilities came online one by one. General Martinez and 12 other military leaders from nations around the world stood with her. The Prometheus Protocol is now active, President Russell announced. May God help us all. Far above Earth, on the dark side of the moon, the true scale of humanity's secret preparations became clear. Inside a massive crater, hidden from both Earth and space observation, hangar doors slid open to reveal a fleet of warships unlike anything publicly known to exist. The largest vessel, nearly a mile long, bore the name UES Retribution on its sleek hull. Inside its bridge, Admiral Sofia Martinez, General Martinez's sister, reviewed final launch preparations with her crew. Engine status? She asked her first officer. Quantum drives at full capacity, Admiral. All systems green. Sofia nodded, her face reflecting the blue light of the console. Communications? Stealth systems active. We can receive but not transmit until the fleet launches. On a smaller vessel nearby, the UES Phantom, Captain Vincent Harris calibrated the advanced cloaking technology that made his ship virtually undetectable to known alien sensors. His stealth carrier would lead the first strike, carrying fighters equipped with weapons reverse-engineered from technology the public never knew existed. In total, 26 warships waited in the lunar base, Earth's hidden armada, built using technology far beyond what humanity had shown to the stars. Back on Earth, Commander Ryan Blackwood and Dr. Catherine Porter entered a facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. Inside, hundreds of scientists and military personnel worked at stations filled with technology, decades ahead of what the rest of the world believed possible. Hard to believe we kept this secret for 50 years, Ryan said as they walked through security checkpoints. Catherine nodded. The 1989 crash in New Mexico changed everything. Once we recovered that scout ship, we knew we weren't alone, and we knew we needed to be ready. They entered a large circular room where a holographic display showed the known galaxy. 12 alien worlds were highlighted in red. These are our primary targets, General Martinez explained as he joined them. The home planets and major military installations of the three species who voted to destroy the horizon, the Zexians, the Veil, Hegemony, and the Krith Dominion. What about the other council races? Catherine asked. Our intelligence suggests 14 of the 27 races opposed the attack. They were outvoted. Martinez enlarged the display to show Nexus Station. We'll deal with them separately, after the initial operation. Ryan studied the attack plan. The Council believes we're centuries behind them technologically, which gives us our only advantage: surprise. Martinez pointed to various fleet positions. We launch simultaneously from 7 points in the solar system. The quantum drives will put us at our targets before they even realize we've left Earth. Catherine moved to a separate console, pulling up schematics for a device unlike anything publicly known. This is our key weapon, the quantum disruptor. It targets the specific frequency used by Council shield technology, rendering their defenses useless. How did we develop this? Ryan asked, impressed. The same way we developed everything else since 1989, Catherine replied. Reverse engineering, combined with human innovation. While the world saw us launching basic rockets, we were actually building this. That evening, world leaders gathered for an emergency broadcast. On television screens across the planet, President Russell addressed humanity. Citizens of Earth, she began, her voice steady. 6 months ago, our first diplomatic mission to the stars ended in tragedy. We were told it was an accident, a result of our own technological failings. Today, I must tell you this was a lie. Gasps filled living rooms and public squares around the world. The UES horizon was deliberately destroyed by members of the Galactic Council who feared humanity's potential. They sought to keep us isolated, primitive, and controlled. President Russell paused, allowing the shock to settle. What the Council does not know is that Earth has not been as technologically primitive as we've allowed them to believe. For 50 years since we recovered an alien craft in 1989, we have been preparing for the possibility that our first contact might not be peaceful. The camera pulled back to show General Martinez and other military leaders standing with her. Tonight, we reveal the truth. Earth possesses technology far beyond what we have publicly demonstrated. We have built ships, weapons, and defenses that match or exceed those of the Galactic Council. Around the world, hidden facilities continued to activate. Massive manufacturing complexes, advanced research stations, and launch facilities emerged. From mountains, oceans, and deserts. We did not want war among the stars. President Russell continued. We sought friendship and cooperation, but we will not allow the murder of our people to go unanswered. In orbit above Earth, satellites previously thought to be weather stations or communications relays transformed, revealing their true purpose as defense platforms. Tonight, Earth launches Operation Sudden Thunder. Our fleet will strike only those responsible for the attack on our people. We offer one chance for surrender, one opportunity for justice to be served peacefully. On the moon base, Admiral Sofia Martinez addressed the commanders of Earth's hidden fleet via secure video link. For 50 years, we've prepared for this possibility, she told them, her expression grave but determined. We showed the galaxy our handshake while building our shield. Now we show them our sword. One by one, the ships powered up their quantum drives, engines that bent space itself, allowing travel vastly faster than light. Our mission is precise justice, not vengeance. Admiral Martinez continued. We target military installations and government centers of the three species who ordered the attack on the horizon. Civilian targets are strictly off limits. The massive hangar doors opened fully, revealing the star-filled blackness of space. Remember the horizon, Admiral Martinez said finally. Remember our 142. President Russell concluded her address to Earth with words that would be remembered for generations. Today we show the stars that Earth will not be dismissed or destroyed without consequence. Today, humanity stands up. In synchronized precision, Earth's hidden fleet launched from multiple points across the solar system, their advanced stealth technology making them invisible to the monitoring outposts the Council had placed at the edge of human space. The first stage of Operation Sudden Thunder had begun. The Zexian military base on Proxima Centauri b was the pride of their expansion efforts. Built to monitor the nearby human solar system, the base housed 5,000 personnel and boasted defenses that could repel any known attack force. Its commander sub-hierarch Nal had just begun the morning briefing when alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. What is happening? He demanded, four eyes blinking rapidly. Unknown vessels approaching, his sensor officer replied, skin flashing with patterns of confusion. They appeared from nowhere. No warp signatures detected. Impossible, Nal snapped. Nothing can approach without using warp space. On the main screen, 26 ships of unfamiliar design dropped their stealth fields, appearing less than 10,000 miles from the base. Their sleek, dark hulls absorbed sensor scans rather than reflecting them. Those designs, Nal's second-in-command whispered. They're human? Before Nal could respond, a communication request flashed on their screens. With a gesture, he accepted it. Admiral Sofia Martinez's face appeared on the display. Her expression remained calm, professional, betraying no emotion despite the significance of the moment. Zexian Command. This is Admiral Martinez of the United Earth Fleet. Vessel Retribution. Your facility participated in the attack on our diplomatic vessel 6 months ago. We have proof of your involvement. Nal's skin rippled with shock. This is absurd. Humans do not possess this technology. Your people can barely reach your own moon. A slight smile touched Sophia's lips. As you can see, that impression was incorrect. We are here to demand justice for the 142 humans murdered aboard the UES Horizon. You dare threaten a council race? Nal drew himself up. Our defenses can destroy your entire fleet. Leave now, or be obliterated. I'll give you 1 hour to surrender those responsible for the attack, Sophia replied, unperturbed. After that, we will disable your defenses and take them by force. The communication ended. Nal immediately ordered all weapon systems to full power. The base's shield generators hummed to life, creating an energy barrier thought to be impenetrable. Contact Nexus Station immediately, he commanded. Tell them humans have somehow acquired advanced technology and are threatening our installation. His communications officer worked frantically at her console. Our quantum communications are being jammed. I can't reach anyone outside the system. On the UES Phantom, Captain Vincent Harris watched the Zexian base through advanced sensors. They're powering up all weapons, he reported to Admiral Martinez. Shields at maximum, no signs of surrender. As expected, Sophia nodded. Begin Phase 2. Vincent gave the order and 12 smaller vessels detached from the Phantom's launch bays. Each stealth fighter carried a specially designed weapon, the product of decades of research after the 1989 alien crash. "All fighters report ready," his tactical officer announced. "Deploy the quantum disruptor," Vincent ordered. From the lead fighter, a small device shot toward the Zexian base, stopping just outside their shield perimeter. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the device began to pulse with blue-white energy. Waves of quantum distortion spread outward, intersecting with the base's shields. Inside the base, Nal watched in horror as warning lights flashed across every console. "Shield integrity falling," his defense officer shouted. 70%, 50%, 30%. "Impossible!" Nal slammed his fist down. "Those shields can withstand bombardment from a dreadnought fleet." On the main screen, he could see the human ships moving into attack formation. Their weapons were unlike anything in Council databases, not energy beams or plasma, but something that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around their targets. "Launch all fighters," Nal ordered. "Fire all weapons." Zexian defense craft poured from the base, while massive cannons fired energy bolts toward the human fleet. But the humans were ready. Their ships moved with impossible precision, dodging the energy bolts as if they had known exactly where they would be fired. Though human fighters engaged the Zexian craft, their smaller vessels demonstrating maneuverability that seemed to defy physics.
One by one, Zexian fighters exploded or drifted, disabled by weapons that shut down their power systems without destroying the ships themselves. "Our shields are gone," the defense officer reported, his voice rising in panic. "They've completely
Neutralized our defense grid." Admiral Martinez opened a channel to the base once more. "This is your final opportunity to surrender. We have disabled your shields and defense systems. We can target any section of your base with precision. Demonstrate." A single human fighter fired at one of the base's communication towers. The beam struck with surgical precision, vaporizing the tower while leaving surrounding structures untouched. Nal stared at the display, his skin now pale gray with fear. All his life, he had been told that humans were primitive, barely able to leave their own planet. Yet here they were, dismantling the most advanced Zexian outpost with technology that seemed centuries beyond what should have been possible. "How?" he asked, his voice quiet. "How do you have this technology?" "We've had it for decades," Sophia replied simply. "We just chose not to reveal it until necessary." Across the Proxima Centauri system, similar scenes played out at two other Zexian outposts. Within hours, all three installations had surrendered, with minimal casualties on either side. Meanwhile, Captain Harris led a special operations team to a nearby communications hub, a facility that coordinated communications between Council races. While Earth forces secured the perimeter, Harris and his team downloaded proof of the conspiracy to destroy the horizon. "Look at this," his communications specialist said, displaying a secure file on her tablet. "It's the Council vote record. 15 voted to eliminate the human problem, while 12 opposed." Harris read through the document, his expression darkening. "They feared our rate of technological development. According to this report, humans advanced more quickly than any species they had encountered before. They projected we would reach their level within a century if left unchecked. So they decided to set us back by destroying our first diplomatic mission," the specialist asked, disgusted. "Not just that." Harris pointed to another section. "They planned to keep us isolated for at least 500 years, feeding us limited technology to ensure we developed along paths they could control. Similar operations targeted key installations of the Vale Hegemony and Krith Dominion, the other two species who had led the vote to destroy the horizon. In each case, Earth forces followed the same pattern, offering surrender, demonstrating overwhelming technological superiority, then conducting precise strikes when resistance continued. On the Retribution's bridge, Admiral Martinez received reports from across 12 star systems. "All primary targets secured," her tactical officer reported. "Casualties minimal on both sides. We have control of their major defense networks and communication hubs." "And our evidence?" Sophia asked. Irrefutable, Commander Blackwood replied, joining her on the bridge after arriving from Earth via quantum transport. Captain Harris recovered the complete council records. They voted explicitly to destroy our ship as a warning to Earth. Prepare a broadcast to all council worlds, Sophia ordered. They need to understand exactly what has happened today. Across the galaxy, on 27 worlds and hundreds of space stations, communication systems suddenly activated without local control. On screens large and small, Admiral Martinez's face appeared. Peoples of the Galactic Council, I am Admiral Sophia Martinez of Earth. Today, forces from our planet have conducted targeted operations against those responsible for the unprovoked destruction of our diplomatic vessel 6 months ago. She paused, allowing translation systems to catch up. We have secured definitive proof that the Zexian Collective, Veil Hegemony, and Krith Dominion conspired to destroy our ship and murder our people, not because we threatened them, but because they feared our potential. The broadcast showed images of the recovered council documents, translated into multiple languages. Earth could have responded with wholesale destruction, as was done to us. Instead, we have chosen precise justice. We have disabled military installations and secured those responsible for the attack with minimal loss of life. Reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Council races who had opposed the attack immediately recalled their ambassadors from the 3 guilty powers. Several issued their own statements condemning the attack on the horizon. Earth now controls the defense networks of the 3 responsible powers, Admiral Martinez continued. We have no desire for conquest or control. We seek only justice for our murdered envoys and a new relationship based on honesty and respect. The broadcast ended, leaving stunned silence across thousands of worlds. For centuries, the Council had encountered species who were either too primitive to threaten them or too advanced to challenge. Never had they faced a race that had hidden its true capabilities so effectively, or revealed them with such precision and restraint. On Nexus Station, the remaining council members gathered in emergency session, watching as reports came in from across their territories. None of them had imagined that humans, who had appeared to barely understand basic warp theory, had secretly mastered technologies the council itself was only beginning to develop. How did we misjudge them so badly? One representative asked, mandibles clicking with anxiety. 2 weeks after Operation Sudden Thunder began, a small fleet of Earth vessels approached Nexus Station. Unlike their initial arrival 6 months earlier, there was no attempt to appear primitive or harmless. The UES Retribution led the formation, its massive hull dwarfing many of the alien ships nearby. Beside it flew the UES Phantom, now visible to all, its advanced design unlike anything the Council races had seen before. On the Retribution's bridge, Admiral Sophia Martinez stood in her formal uniform, gold braid gleaming on the shoulders. Commander Ryan Blackwood and Dr. Catherine Porter waited beside her, along with a young woman in a lieutenant's uniform, Claire Mercer, daughter of the late Ambassador Elaine Mercer. The station has granted us docking clearance, the communications officer reported. They've requested we limit our party to 10 representatives. Sophia smiled slightly. Tell them we'll comply with their request. As they prepared to board the station, Ryan checked the data tablet containing all the evidence they had gathered. The full council has assembled for this meeting. All 27 races will be present. Are you ready for this? Catherine asked, Claire softly. The young woman nodded, her eyes determined. I've been ready since the day they killed my mother. The Earth delegation walked through Nexus Station with heads held high. Unlike the previous visit, there were no attempts to hide weapons or defensive technology. Each human wore a small device. On their wrist, personal shield generators that could activate in microseconds. Guards from various council races lined the corridors, watching the humans with a mixture of fear and respect. News of Earth's military action had spread throughout the galaxy. Stories of human ships appearing from nowhere, neutralizing advanced defenses with ease, had transformed the galaxy's perception overnight. The Grand Chamber looked just as it had when Ambassador Mercer gave her speech 6 months earlier. Representatives from 27 civilizations sat in tiered rows, their expressions ranging from open hostility to cautious curiosity. At the center podium stood High Chancellor Vrax, his skin patterns moving slowly, a sign of extreme stress in Zexians. Representatives of Earth, Vrax began as the humans entered. The Council has convened at your request to discuss recent events. Admiral Martinez stepped forward. We are not here to discuss. We are here to present terms. A murmur ran through the assembly. Such directness violated centuries of diplomatic tradition, but none dared object. Before we proceed, Martinez continued, Commander Blackwood will present evidence of the Council's actions against Earth. Ryan activated his tablet, and holographic displays appeared before each Council member. 6 months ago, this Council voted 15-12 to destroy our diplomatic vessel and murder our people. Here is the complete voting record, recovered from your own secure files. The evidence was irrefutable. Detailed plans to eliminate Earth's first diplomatic mission, followed by records of the weapon used to destroy the horizon. Most damning was the Council's discussion of humanity's troubling development rate and the need to contain the human problem. We recovered these records during Operation Sudden Thunder, Ryan explained. The same operation that demonstrated Earth's true technological capabilities we kept hidden precisely because we suspected how the galaxy might react to our rapid advancement. Several Council members shifted uncomfortably. Some turned accusatory glares toward the representatives of the Zexian Collective, Vale Hegemony, and Krith Dominion. Lieutenant Claire Mercer stepped forward next. Her voice was steady despite the emotion she must have felt standing where her mother died. My mother, Ambassador Elaine Mercer, believed in peaceful cooperation between worlds. She came to you with an open hand, and you responded with destruction. Today I deliver Earth's terms for justice. She unfolded a document bearing the seal of Earth's united government. First, those directly responsible for planning and executing the attack will face trial for the murder of 142 humans. Second, the 3 civilizations who led this conspiracy will pay reparations to the families of those killed. Third, the Council Charter will be rewritten to prevent any similar acts in the future. High Chancellor Vrax's skin flashed with patterns of outrage. You cannot dictate terms to the Galactic Council. We have governed interstellar relations for 10,000 years. Perhaps that's the problem, Catherine Porter remarked coldly. You've grown too accustomed to dismissing younger species. Your technological display is impressive, Vrax conceded, his tone somewhat controlled now. But the combined might of the Council still far exceeds Earth's capabilities. Admiral Martinez smiled. Are you certain of that? Commander Blackwood, please demonstrate. Ryan activated his wrist device. Throughout the station, power systems flickered briefly before stabilizing. On every screen in the chamber, images appeared showing Earth vessels positioned near key Council worlds and installations. While we've been talking, Ryan explained, Earth forces have secured control of the Council's primary defense networks using backdoors we discovered weeks ago. We could have destroyed you as you destroyed our envoys. Instead, we offer a choice, justice or obsolescence. Shocked silence filled the chamber. One by one, representatives rose to speak. The Larian representative, a small crystalline being, was first. The Larian Assembly voted against the attack on your vessel. We support Earth's terms and request formal alliance. 13 other representatives quickly followed with similar statements, distancing themselves from the attack and supporting Earth's position. Within minutes, a clear majority of the Council had sided with the humans. High Chancellor Vrax, seeing his support crumble, attempted one final protest. This upends thousands of years of galactic order. Humans have barely left their solar system. That's where you're wrong, Catherine replied. We've been exploring nearby stars in secret for decades. We even established outposts in 12 systems, while your observers remained unaware. How? A Krith representative demanded. How did you advance so quickly without detection? We learned from your mistake, Admiral Martinez explained. You judge species by their visible technology. When we discovered we weren't alone in the galaxy, we decided to keep our true capabilities hidden until we understood the political landscape. A wise precaution, admitted an elder member of the council, representing one of the oldest races, one we should perhaps have recognized. Lieutenant Mercer stepped forward again. My mother believed humanity could contribute much to galactic society. That opportunity still exists, but only if built on mutual respect rather than deception and fear. The debate continued for hours, but the outcome was never in doubt. Faced with Earth's overwhelming technological advantage and the evidence of their crimes, the Council had no choice but to accept the terms. 1 year later, Claire Mercer stood in the observation lounge of the newly constructed Nexus 2 station. The original Nexus had been decommissioned, its destruction of the horizon making it a symbol too painful for continued use. Behind her, diplomats from 32 worlds, including Earth and 5 newly contacted civilizations, signed the Galactic Covenant, a new interstellar agreement based on mutual respect rather than technological hierarchy. Claire placed a small memorial plaque on the wall, bearing the names of her mother and the 141 others lost on the horizon. As she stepped back, she noticed a Krith diplomat approaching cautiously. "Lieutenant Mercer," the alien said, mandibles moving gently in a gesture of respect. "May I ask you something that has puzzled many of us?" Claire nodded. "How did humans advance so quickly without detection? Our scientists still cannot fully understand how your species developed quantum technology while appearing to struggle with basic fusion power." Commander Blackwood, now Earth's new ambassador, overheard the question as he joined them. "You mistook our openness for weakness," Ryan explained. "While we shared our art, music, and hopes with the stars, we never forgot that the cosmos can be cruel. Earth learned long ago that peace works best when backed by strength, and the wisdom to use it justly." Dr. Porter and Captain Harris joined them on the observation deck, watching ships from dozens of worlds arriving for the ceremony. The galaxy looked very different now. Earth had taken its place not as a junior member, but as a leading force in cosmic politics. "They thought they were deciding if we were ready for the galaxy," Catherine remarked, watching a Zexian diplomatic vessel dock alongside an Earth cruiser. "They never considered whether the galaxy was ready for us." Claire touched the memorial plaque once more, tracing her mother's name with her fingers. "What would she think of all this?" she asked softly. "I think she would be proud," Ryan replied. "Not of our revenge, but of our restraint. We could have destroyed those who hurt us. Instead, we created something better." Beyond the station's windows, stars shone like distant promises. Humanity had survived its first great test among the cosmos. The path ahead would not be easy, but Earth would never again be underestimated. The stars had learned a vital lesson. Never judge a species by its appearance, and never, ever provoke humans.